It's a brand new week, and we're back here on your favorite all-women talk show, Sister Sister, live on City FM and City TV. We're also live across Sub-Saharan Africa on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. Thank you so much for joining us once again. The show is brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. Talia Rice, always coming home to love. Onga, Mama's helping hand. Kel White, happy smile. And Geisha, African strength. Now, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, I will tell you exactly how you can interact with us on the show today. Plus, we meet our sisters, and then we jump right into the very interesting messages that we receive on the show today. So, yeah, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. And hello there, welcome back. All right, so let's jump right in. There are various ways that you can reach us on the show today. You can send a quick email to jessica@cityfmonline.com. You can send a WhatsApp message to 054-998-6996. And you can alternatively just find us on Facebook at Sister Sister LIVE. Sister Sister Live, like our page, send us a DM, or just join the engagements on our wall. We're growing the family, and we'd love to have you on board. Great. So now that you know how you can interact with us, let me say hello to my sisters on the show with me today. I've got Demi and Ceci joining me. Ladies, so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What's going on? How are you doing?
Good, Jess. I'm fabulous.
Great.
Yourself?
I'm all right. Can't complain.
It's always good to see you.
Indeed. But we need to stop meeting on the show,
right?
And meets.
Gotcha.
You know.
I know.
What's an outstanding?
And we will.
Yeah. Don't be a stranger. Stop that. It's like we're good friends. We only meet on the show.
I'll change.
You better change.
I will.
Change your ways. 2021.
Change Charlie, you see you.
2021.
I owe you plenty.
Yes.
I'll catch up.
Yes. Please do. Ceci, what's up? Your hair is like, you're matching outfits with your hair.
Yeah.
I love it though. I mean, what are people saying? They like it?
Life is full of color, so I like to experiment.
Why not? It looks good. It actually looks really, really good. I'm so jealous right now, but I wouldn't admit it. Let's say hello to Claudia. How you doing, Claudia?
I'm good, and you?
I'm all right. Can't complain. You know how it is. How's Berlin?
We are coping. It's been good so far.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Right, we will jump right in because people are waiting, and we don't like to keep our viewers and listeners waiting, do we? We'll jump right in. So this one says, good evening, sisters. I'm 30 years old, and I've been dating this wonderful 30-year-old woman for the past 2 years. We hope to get hitched next year. Now, the problem is I love sex, and I was open about it to my woman from the start. I asked her if she was into sex, and she said yes. But I don't think she's a sex person. She can go months without it and be fine. Yet I get frustrated, stressed, and unhappy. We've had this conversation twice, but the value is still the same. I really don't want her to be having sex just because I asked. I want it to be a mutual thing. I don't want to be in a marriage and still not get any. What do I do? Please advise. All right, Demi, darling.
Jessica's doing me the honors.
Yes.
Oh, my gentleman. He's 30.
Yes.
Oh, just to be blunt, I think he's putting too much agency and focus on sex at this point. And it sounds like it's a little too much about him. Because he was saying he gets stressed and unhappy and everything.
Frustrated.
But sex is not everything. It is important though, but in the things we need, is it really a physiological need? Then by now, all the people who are celibates and the monks and everything would have died, right? So it just depends on how much value you place on it. And at this point, they are not even married. So really, sex should not be that much premium. I mean, does he want to know if he's compatible with her so that when they do get married?
Yeah.
But if he thinks he's not and they've had the conversation, I don't know how the conversation went. Did they really tackle the issues? Maybe she has some other problem that has not been addressed. Maybe he's not able to fulfill her needs so she can go without it. I mean, this could not be all about her. It could also be about him. I mean, there are several different things that are coming into my head now. And really, if he's considering marriage with her, sex, any married person will tell you, after a while, the frequency, the need, the urgency, the everything, not the passion, we keep the passion, but other things, other competing priorities come in, children come in, all of those things, and sex really, really takes a back burner sometimes, where you even have to work at it to bring it back to the fore.
Wow. Okay.
So really, my guy, I think you should think about other things that make for a stable relationship that will equal a stable marriage in the future. And these are, how do you communicate? How do you solve problems? What about finances? All these other much bigger issues. So I think you should pause a bit on the sex thing and really, really consider other factors. I don't think they're incompatible, as she says, and if if indeed they are incompatible, and he wants to see how he can salvage it, I don't even think salvage is the right word. I don't think this relationship is beyond salvageable at all. I don't think this is that critical. I think it's the desires incidental to youth that are really pushing him in that direction with that physical need, and over time that physical need, that, I mean, it will come down. So maybe he's not ready for marriage if he really wants to satisfy that edge as urgently as it's sounding over here.
Right.
So there are more important things to focus on, my friend. But if you want to do some counseling, the sex therapy, couples counseling, you can find out what really are the issues. But what pleases him may not be what you're doing or what you think you might be doing. So there are different things,
right,
that they should consider.
Cool. Ceci, what do you think?
All right. So I'm thinking a lot of scenarios. Okay, so it could be that maybe they are not married yet, so she doesn't feel the need to grant it frequently. Also, this could also be a sort of test drive or a red flag for him to know that, Charlie, the way you like the thing, no, that is not how she likes it. Okay, so there's too much focus on sex. In that, everything he has spoken about, okay, I'm stressed and everything, and it's all about what will make you happy, but you are not considering what possibly could not make her want to have it normally, like you would want to. Maybe yours is beyond normal, because
like
the way you're saying that,
yeah.
So it looks like yours is beyond normal, and then she's like normal, average sex liker. So you may want to find out why. Probably she is not that sexually attracted to you.
Could be.
It could be. Okay, because if already you guys are sexually active with each other, if you give her and then she likes it, hey, she would always want to come back. Okay, but if you don't have that conversation with her, you will never know. So find out. Not like go attack her and say that, hey, every time I want sex you are saying, is she refusing? Is it that she doesn't make the move, or she doesn't, are you the one always making advances at her, say, or she's just there and then you make advances and then it happens, or anytime you want to do it, she says no, you didn't mention it, so I don't think that is the cause. Okay, so it looks like maybe she's not the one initiating it. You always have to be the one to, that makes you feel. So
and she can
if you do not initiate, so if you do not initiate for months,
it never happens.
It never happens. So that conversation is very important. I cannot emphasize enough, communicate, because you are not a magician to know why she is not responding like you would want her to. And like I already said, you are too fixated on sex. If that is your only reason for being in this relationship, then I don't think you need to move on. Leave the poor girl alone. Don't come and stress somebody's daughter. Because if she's like the average sex person and then you are like overboard, there will be a problem. Okay, I'm not saying that your love for sex is bad. if you move over from her, you'll find somebody who matches your love for sex. So please do her a favor. If you think that you are not compatible as far as your love for sex is concerned, let her go. Don't come and stress her.
Okay. Claudia, what do you think?
I would approach it from the cultural perspective because we have very different attitudes towards sex, men and women, in the Ghanaian society. They are the liberated ones who can ask for sex whenever they want sex. And there are those who still think asking a man for sex makes you look cheap. So now it's quite difficult to tell if she's playing hard to get or she really doesn't like him. And there's also this thing about no sex before marriage and this whole conception about if he sleeps with you too much, he might not marry you. So you have to sort of like manage it. So there's a lot of cultural misconceptions and narratives about sex. So it's more of a communication thing between the two of them. And for him to establish that, oh, okay, it's not a cultural thing. She just doesn't like sex. Then there's no reason for him to be there. But I also don't think there's anything as being fixated with sex or liking sex too much. We all have our love language. Some people just like to get gifts and they are okay. Some like to be complimented, they are okay. Some like to be touched and they are okay. His is sex. And it would be very unfair for him to end up with a woman who doesn't speak the same language with him. And the statistics have showed that after marriage, you get little sex. So if even in the relationship stage, you are not getting much, and you still don't know why you're not getting much, I would be very afraid that, okay, I've heard that after marriage, I mean, the drive goes down, and now she doesn't even want to give it to me. So what happens after sex? What happens after marriage? So I totally understand him. He has identified what he wants in a relationship. Now he has to establish if he is with the right person because he deserves it. And it's also for the woman to also discover herself and say, okay, you are not the right man for me because we are not on the same level. So it's a communication thing. They have to decide what they want. But for me, I would tell him to go with his guts. We all know what makes us happy in relationships. And if he's prioritizing sex, probably she's good in other areas or he's covered in other areas. And the only stumbling block for him now is good sex. And he needs it to be happy. He deserves it. But he needs to be with the right person who also sees it as a need, who also feels the same agency, who has the same passion, so that then they can be compatible on that level. But for me, I would want him to establish if it's more of a cultural thing of the woman typically saying, oh, before marriage, I'm not supposed to have sex, or I'm not going to give him too much, or he won't marry me. So then she's probably going to change after marriage. But there's so much uncertainties here. So they need to talk, because I mean, even when it comes to sex, communication is like the number one love language when it comes to sex. So if they are not establishing these basics as to likes, dislikes, conception, misconception, and it's 2 years being together. So they really are wasting time if they've not tackled these very, 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 very basic issues. But he shouldn't slow down. If he likes sex, he should be vocal, he should be honest about it. No need to lie to the companion and love of your life. Make it known and then move on if it's not working for you.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything Claudia said. So let me jump into some messages. Ibrahim says dating is meant for compatibility and it doesn't necessarily have to end up in marriage. Have a frank discussion with her. If you're not compatible, break up. Posh says marry her and enjoy your conjugal rights, period. You shouldn't be feeling so entitled. Papa says, but you're not married, so why the pressure? Probably she wants it after marriage. Stop thinking about sex and divert that attention into your business. If after marriage she's still like that, then a counselor perhaps can step in. One says you're just dating, but you want to enjoy something you haven't paid for all the time. Bro, waiting. Get yourself busy. Stop thinking about sex. If after all this you don't marry her, who loses? By then, you don't open the Jerusalem gate wider. Martin says, well, have you considered the possibility that sex with you probably sucks? I bet if she was getting the best sex of her life, she'll be begging for it all the time. So perhaps you may need to improve your game. Remember, women are totally different from men. Try to focus on giving her a great experience rather than simply focusing on your pleasures. Gifty says, at 30 years, you should be thinking of working hard. Your peers like Mark Zuckerberg are busy building Facebook and buying Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. And you're here talking about sex, which after working hard and making enough money, you can have till thy kingdom come. See, Mumu. Really? All right. So it's Sister on 97.3 City FM and City TV. Your comments are welcome. Remember, 054-998-6996. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back, Sister on City TV and City FM. A message here says, good evening, sisters. My twin brother has been having some challenges and I'm hoping to get some good advice for him. He's in love with a girl who's also a twin. But this girl doesn't want kids and always tells him that she doesn't mind having her tubes tied. She's Ghanaian but grew up abroad, so it seems like she has some sort of skewed ideology. Fast forward, her twin is very close to my brother and she wants kids. My brother is tempted to talk to his girlfriend to allow him to date her instead. He's tried talking to the twin and she's ready for anything, but she's scared of her sister. They've kissed and everything, but didn't go far because he didn't want to cheat on his girlfriend, but says anything can happen. He's thinking about getting her pregnant and using that to get her family to agree to their union. I don't think this is the right way to go, and I don't know why he wants to get into this messy situation. What else can I tell him to change his mind? Indeed, what do you think I should do? Okay, so a twin writing on behalf of his twin about other twins. Claudia, let me come to you for this one, okay?
I'm confused.
I know.
Okay, so, first of all, ew. So he's dating a girl who doesn't want to have kids and is now contemplating sleeping with the girl's sister?
Twin
or
sister,
another
yes.
Twin. That bit confused me.
So he's a twin. The girl he's dating is also a twin. So the girl he's dating doesn't want kids, but her twin sister does. And he's messing around with her now and wondering if he should get her pregnant so that the family agrees.
He's a weirdo.
Very weird.
And this is so wrong on many levels. Like, I've told, and also let me blame the girl a bit. I've told you I don't have kids. You're a woman who doesn't want kids. Why are you dating a man who wants kids? That's my first contention, because these are first dates, third dates conversations that you have, and this man has, I don't know if he's told her or is insisting, but why would he even want to cross over to her twin sister? Clearly he lacks principles. And then he mentions non-consensually impregnating her. That's abuse. Why would you want to burden a woman who doesn't want to have kids simply because you want kids? And then you also contemplate going back to sleep.
So he's trying to impregnate the twin sister, not his girlfriend.
Oh my days.
Do you understand? So not the girl. Yeah. And her twin sister is game, by the way.
That's you know what? They should just run away from this guy. He's trouble. He's going to put a rift between two sisters. There's going to be a family issue because of this. And this guy writing to us, he clearly knows what his friend is doing is wrong. This is wrong on all levels. So he's seeking advice for his twin brother or for his twin friend.
His twin brother.
No, they are both.
They are both toxic. You know, this is typical men trying to have or to break boundaries of women. So this other woman that he's going to impregnate, is he going to be honest that, oh, okay, by the way, I'm dating your sister. She doesn't want kids. Do you want to step in so that we do it on behalf of her? I doubt he's going to do that. He's going to probably do it dishonestly. This is a family problem waiting to happen. It's wrong on all levels. He clearly lacks morals. And both girls deserve better. Seriously. they deserve a better man. He should leave these two girls alone. Go and find a woman. There are so many Ghanaian. In fact, Ghanaian women are raised to have children. Not having kids is like the exception. Everybody idolizes it. And when you declare that you don't want kids, you are seen as the outsider or the overexposed or not right. So there are so many girls in Ghana who want to have kids. So many girls who have been praying, going to church. There are so many girls in church who are looking for husbands and want to have kids. Leave these two sisters alone. He's trouble. He's trouble. You should leave the girls alone and go and find a woman who has the same agenda, the same principles, the same life goals, and you'll be happy. Why this complicated situation? Is it because the girl is abroad or she has money? Why is he so fixated on this chaotic and messy transaction that would only bring trouble? They are not the only two girls in the world. And these are twin sisters. They have a bond. You shouldn't be the one who bring a rift between two sisters just because you are selfish and you lack morals. They don't deserve this. Seriously.
Right. All right, Demi, you agree?
Jessica, is it that do we need a road map or maybe like a Venn diagram to put people in the messy,
Crazy.
all around? I mean, what in the incest is going on? This is just horrible. So let me address it issue by issue. Parenting. Children take a lot out of you, financially, emotionally, everything. It's a full-time job. And before you bring children into the world, you have to have that sound understanding, have prepared yourself, and you're ready to take that lifelong task. Okay. Now, if somebody, grown adult of sound mind, says that, okay, upon assessing, I don't think I'm a person or the one to be a mother. I don't think I have what it takes. And they have come to that decision. That's fair. That's their personal life. It's their decision that they've come to. I think because of our cultural biases and so forth and norms, we are trained to push people in a certain direction. And they may have come to that conclusion all by themselves. It doesn't mean that some outside exposure or something is influencing that decision. I think Ghanaians are fully capable of coming to that conclusion if that is what they want for their lives. Right. I think kids should be planned and everything. So we've put that aside. So twin A knows what she wants and she has decided she does not want children.
Right.
So like Claudia said, then you can't be with somebody who then has told you they also want children. So that's breakup number one. There are several breakups you need to address. So breakup number one, because it's clearly an incompatibility issue. It's not that I hate you, nothing happened, but we have different goals and different objectives and whatnot in life. So fine. And then this guy. So this guy is the common denominator between these two sisters,
right.
It seems. And I think he's using that, oh, your sister doesn't want, my girlfriend, who's the sister, right, does not want children, so I'm trying to play this. He just wants to have the two of them have two cakes, eat them, and still have the cake still standing there waiting for him. Like they say, you can't eat your cake and have it, but he wants two cakes to eat them both and still have two cakes still waiting for him, which is clearly impossible. So I think he's just using what twin A said, that she does not want to have kids, as an excuse to try to see if he can explore with twin B, and twin B too, who for some reason seems not to be loyal to her sister. I would think that twins have that bond, right? So there's no loyalty here.
Yes.
So that twin B girl, what you're doing to your sister, you know that's low down and dirty. Because you're essentially cheating, and cheating starts from the mind. They haven't done, quote unquote, the physical act, but like it says here, they've already kissed, and anything can happen. I think he said anything can happen. So as it's well, my dream, that whatever happens can happen. So you guy, no morals, and then twin B, I don't know what he has told twin B to betray her sister in this manner. So you can imagine the pain and the hurt when the twin hears her. So she couldn't find any other person in this world
but
her sister, her twin sister's boyfriend.
Right.
Like, my goodness, what is it? So my guy, your twin sister or brother is writing because he thinks that what you're doing, you're playing a dangerous game, is terrible, and he doesn't know what to tell you for you to stop. It sounds like you've made your mind. Tell your twin brother that what he's doing is awful, it's wrong, morally, every other way you dissect it. So he should please leave both of them alone.
Or you tell.
Or yes,
Yeah.
essentially, because at this
Seriously.
point it's like, you know, when persuasion fails,
Force is
force
applied.
is applied.
Ciao.
So have at it. Do it publicly if you wish to name and shame, because this is awful, and it will just only lead to disaster, if not already. So he really, really needs to do something, advise his brother. And that guy, it's just excuses. He just wants to sleep with both of them. That's all it is.
I'm sitting here wondering what he would say to the family once they realize twin B is the one that's pregnant and not A. You know, like, what's he going to say? That he mistook them? Are they identical twins? Like, I'm just
it's
wondering.
crazy. I mean, of course, he'll come up with excuses,
Yeah.
but this is
Like,
not
oh,
how
you know,
to bring a child.
I thought it was this one, but it's this one. Meanwhile, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, he sure he
Clearly, he
did.
has no conscience.
And then the twin B herself, can she say that, look, hey, I'm not Adra, I'm not Adra one, I'm not Pinya, I'm not Kakra.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, so they know what
Charlie?
they're doing, and it's terrible. So
Ceci has a worried look on her face. Talks me.
It's a messy situation.
Very.
You see, it's like you know, it's like it's synonymous to going to school. You've been given a course outline. You said no, you won't follow the course outline. I'll just go straight and go and write the exam. I'm saying this because there's a reason for dating. There's a reason for courtship. You have the chance to get to know this person that you probably want to spend the rest of your life with. She has come out to explicitly tell you that I do not want children. I am ready to get my tubes tied. That is extreme. It should let you know that she means business. Then you move on from there. But moving on, no. You still want to do it. In fact, you want to. It's like you want to. It's like you want to mess where you eat.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, how? You have no respect. You have no discipline. That shows that you don't even respect your girlfriend.
Or her family.
Or her family. Exactly. You just want to mess up the place. I mean, how do you do? I mean, this will go down in history as, you know, you find later, sometime down the line, you find some old woman narrating some family history mess that occurred, and then now there's a rift between the two sisters, and now it has caused some tribal war and something like this. That is how things like this begin.
serious feuds.
Yes, and they can go on for years. So please, if your brother is not agreeing to what you're saying, tell. If you need to tell the Busuapin or whoever you think will be able to knock some sense into him, unless maybe they elope, but by whatever means, that thing should not be tolerated. That is so much, in fact, a lot of mess. You cause problems between, and you know, for twins, you know, there's that bond, depending on, okay, maybe if they're like, I mean, so long as they stayed in the same womb, there is that bond. I'm not talking spirituality or superstition, but with siblings, there's a strong bond. If you're twins, the bond is strong. If there's love, the love is hard. And if there's hate,
It's even harder.
it's even harder. So tell, please, name and shame, because this cannot happen. This cannot happen. It's too much mess.
And that relationship he's wanting with the second twin who he started kissing and all of that, it's
exactly.
not going to work, because relationships are based on honesty
And
also
trust, yes.
this is
From the
it's not
get-go.
going to, they both
Planting
will
the
start
wrong
not
seed.
trusting each other. Relationships born out of cheating hardly ever work, if
That
at
is true.
all. It's
That is
always fraught with all kinds of problems.
The guy has been sent to come and cause problems. He has been sent.
Sent by who? It's family people, maybe.
Cruella de Vil.
Anyway, I mean, you guys have said it all. I'm not even gonna dwell on this, but it's definitely a bad idea. So yeah, tell your brother that if he doesn't back out and or act right, either leave the girl he's currently with, you're probably gonna tell. And I think you should, for his own interest, because it's very dangerous ground he's treading on. We'll move on to our next message. Says, hi sisters, 3 weeks ago my boyfriend gave me 5,000 CDs to keep for him because he knows I'm very good with saving. A week later, I overheard 2 of my male colleagues talking about betting, which could easily fetch some cool cash. I took 150 Ghana from my boyfriend's money and used it to bet on some games. Surprisingly, I won 10,000 cedis, which I'm excited about. But I don't know if I should tell my boyfriend about it. I have a strong feeling he will lose some trust in me. Should I keep mute about it even though I had wanted to give him about 3,000 of the money that I won? Hey, you'll be hard, girl. Hey, Sassy, how now?
Ooh, this is so tricky. Everything in me is telling me that.
Don't say it.
Don't tell him. Just replace the 150. Just replace it.
Serious.
But at the end of the day, it is what makes her comfortable. Okay, right now she's in a dilemma as to whether to tell him or not. Me, I'll say don't say it. Just replace the money you took. Okay? But at the end of the day, it is what will make your conscience rest. If you think that, if you are so, if you place so much premium on trust, okay, I think that, well, I think that if the trust was so important to you, when you were taking that 150 to bet, you should have told him. Okay? Say that, okay, Charlie, the money that you're giving me, I've heard of something and then I want to try it. What's up?
She knows you'd have said no.
Well, most probably. So already there's a bit of dent when it comes to how much you value the trust. So, tell her, don't tell. Me like I'll say it.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Tell me, what do you think?
Oh, you see, my question is, sweetheart, why did you not use your own 150 Ghana to bet? He said, keep this 5,000 for me. Put it down for me. That's all. So you leave it. Why did it, when you had two of your co-workers who have enticed you, or your own greed enticed you internally, and then, because that's all gambling is, the lure that you bring small and you get plenty, it feeds on your greed and that imperfect human need inside us. So
If you know, you know.
I know. So it drew you out, and then you're like, let me not use my money, I could lose it. So
Yes.
then your poor boyfriend's money that he should have even taken to the bank, now there is a girl savings and loans.
Charlie, a week.
So let me use somebody else's money. At the end of the day, nothing happens to me. I suffer no personal loss of any kind. And now you're like, oh, so should I tell? Should I not tell? Girl, I think that we've crossed that ship has sailed. So you knew what you were doing. You wanted to do what you wanted to do. So why are you now concerned about should I tell him or I shouldn't tell him?
Because she wants to know.
And the thing is that it sounds like we have a compulsive gambler in the making. Because 150 into 10,000,
She has the family money.
You use every money that comes your way to do it, and then one time there'll be a huge mega loss, and then here we are. So, lady, gambling really it becomes an addiction at a point where it's all you do, it's all you think about, to the detriment of everything, from your relationships to your finances to your job. People can say, oh, I still maintain my job, I still have money, I still pay my rent, but even the mental space that it occupies, you're thinking about it so often, so much, glorying in how much you can get, and it's just, there's no emotional stability in gambling. It's either very high highs where you're like, literally on a drug high, you just won a large amount of money, to awful lows where you're in the depths and the bouts of depression because you've lost a whole bunch of money. And as humans, we need to be even keel in life. That's why it's called what? I've forgotten the scientific term, but whatever it is, everything needs to be homeostasis. There we go. We have to be balanced in everything. So I wouldn't advise gambling. If you just wanted to try it out based on hearsay, that one is even wrong. Did they bring you actual proof that really they can win, and then you just chanced? This was a chance happening.
Yeah.
So please, give him his money. If you want to tell the truth, I would say you should probably tell the truth, but it's really up to you. You sound like a little obiotumi kululu kakra.
Because when you're going to do it,
you came here for honesty, so we are giving it to you, or telling it to you as it is. So you yourself, it sounds like you're trickster kakra, but just come clean. Tell him what it is, and then stay away from gambling. I'll tell you, there are many awful stories of people who have, you know, ended up badly. But just come sharp. As if you.
Oh, nah.
Just,
Oh, boy.
how many years now have I known you?
Yeah,
I can tell from your face
you should
that
know me better, right?
Really?
Like, do you even have doubts?
I do.
Yeah, Charlie. Claudia, let me hear you.
So she's addressed the first part of my submission, which was to tackle gambling. So I'm not going to rehash that. So I'm just going to move to the second one, which is about her values as a person. She's shady, no doubt, because when she heard of the opportunity, she didn't think of using her money. Okay, let's even assume she didn't have money. And that's even worse. You don't even have money that if it had gone bust, you could have replaced it with. So was she going to borrow from someone else to replace the money if she had lost it? Is it that she wasn't forward thinking? What was the backup plan using someone's money? And secondly, there's this perception that my man's money is my money. My money is my money. And I suspect this rule applies to this money. Someone's savings. He has a mother. I'm sure he has sisters. He has siblings. He has a circle of friends. Everybody around him, he picked you. It's not like he doesn't know their banks or their savings and loans companies. He picked you because he trusts you. So now there's a breach of trust. You are dishonest with his money. Fine, you erred. Now the money has come because you want to hide it. And that alone also reveals another lack of value because, okay, you got it wrong the first time. Now you have the opportunity to rectify all the evil that you've done. Okay, I heard of this thing. I knew you wouldn't agree. So I just went on and did it on behalf of both of us. And now the money is in. We have a cool 10,000 cedis. I'm sure she doesn't want to share that 10,000 with the man.
No,
she still wants to keep that 10,000 cedis and clean her mouth and act like she's the beautiful girlfriend with all the shared values. It's wrong. That 10,000 is not even your money. It's his money because he gave you that seed money. You stole his seed money to go and invest. Now you have an additional 10,000. You don't even want to give him some. Hey, no, I don't agree with it. She should go and, even if she doesn't want to come clean, she should find a nice way of gifting some part of the 10,000 to the guy because it's not even her money. But I would say she should come clean. But I know she doesn't want to come clean.
No, she doesn't.
So she should replace the 150 cedis for the guy's money and find a nice way of gifting part of the 10,000 to the guy. And please let it end there. Next time when you want to go and gamble, please use your own money. Don't go and use someone's life savings. He trusted you. So at least be honest. That's like, it's basic in all relationships. And that's why men become very sneaky about their money because they realize that sometimes women feel, okay, it's free money. Let me just run with it. But this is someone's life savings. And I think she didn't even consider that when she was gambling because she was high. And now that the gains has come, she still wants to keep it. It's not fair. That's my 2 cents.
I've just been giggling because yes, it is true. Like gambling is very, very addictive. And the minute you start, and you see, she's been rewarded for taking that chance. So the probability of her doing it again is actually really, really high. And she knows that her boyfriend won't approve of it. Reason why she's written to the show. You know, so yeah, dear lady, you should not have used his money. I think if it goes two ways, two things. If you're big on trust, you know, and it really matters to you, then come clean with him and let him know, Charlie, you know, I really shouldn't have, but I've won money, so how? Right? Or you could just say, okay, you know what? I shouldn't have done this. I've been lucky this time. I'm not going to tell him, but yeah, I'll keep the money, find a way to give him, or buy him a gift, something, some way, somewhere. So it's really entirely up to you. But please don't go gambling with other people's money. In fact, be wary. I mean, I'm not gonna. People are mature. okay? People have their own minds and their own beliefs. I'm not going to tell anybody don't gamble, whatever, but just know that, I mean, gambling is really addictive. Ask people around about it. People have lost fortunes gambling, okay? So just approach it, you know, really carefully. It's Sister Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. We'll go for a break. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back, Sister Sister on City TV and City FM. Let's hear your comments on 054-998-6996. We'll go right into our next message. And this one says, good evening, sisters. I'm 19 years old and about to enter university. My dad's friend, who's in his 40s, has been bugging me that he wants to date me. I want to report him to my dad, but I'm also worried that it will destroy their many years of friendship. My dad always speaks really highly of him, and I don't know why he's behaving this way. My mom passed away years ago, so it's just my dad and I. Give me the best approach to handle this situation. All right, Claudia, let me come to you.
Why is she willing to shield an abusive man? I don't understand. What he doesn't even deserve that respect. And your dad needs to know that his friend can't be trusted. And this story kind of triggered me because I was privy to a case, a similar instance. The girl didn't tell her dad. The dad leaves for work. The dad's friend comes to the house. She opens out of trust because my dad's friend is coming, pretending to be looking for her dad, and almost raped her. Oh. So she shouldn't joke with it. He's an abusive man, and your dad needs to know the sort of friends that he's keeping. If he's done it to your dad, he's probably done it to some of your dad's friends.
Sure.
And for him to have even been bold to approach you, it means he's an experienced serial abuser. He's confident, he's bold, he doesn't care. And I'm sure he weighed the cards before approaching you. Will she tell, will she not tell? And he's banking on you not telling your dad, so that he will have his way with you. Because you are 19 years, you are young, the prime of your life, you have so many options. Why should this man's issue even burden you? The moment he told you should have gone to your father straight away. Why is the friendship with your father more important than your security? Do you know what might happen to you later on if the two of you are left alone? So imagine you even tell your dad and there's an event and the two of you are left alone in a space. Can you even trust him? Or don't you care that he might do it to other girls, or he's probably doing it to other girls in your father's circles? He's a serial abuser, and you shouldn't even care about the relationship he has with your father. And some of these men, they've become so emboldened because women are afraid to speak up. Women are afraid to speak against powerful men. So he's my friend's father. That fatherly respect, I don't want to disrespect him. But he's not worthy of respect. This man has clearly showed himself as lacking respect, lacking dignity, and an abuser in the making. I'm sure he's already done it. So please, 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 if you can't speak to your dad, speak to your mom. And let your mom talk to your dad.
Her mom is
because
passed.
I'm sure you're not buddies with your dad. Me, the way I am with my dad, after that phone call or that meeting, he's the first person I would have called. So if you are here, it means you're probably not that close to you. You're not a daddy's girl. Or maybe you are close to your mom, but talk to someone and let the information get to your dad straight away. It is not your business, the sort of relationship that they have. Tell your dad whatever he does with that information is none of your business, and stay clear of him.
So Claudia, I was saying that she said that her mom had passed. So, you know, just put things in context. Yeah. But Ceci, what do you think?
First of all, you are too young to carry this kind of burden. You are just about to enter university, so you need to concentrate. Your father holds him in high esteem, and he did this, so obviously he does not deserve the honor and respect that your father has for him. If he's been able to, in spite of the friendship that he has with your dad, approach you in this manner, he should be offering to sponsor your fees or something as a good friend, without all these strings attached or something like that. But for him to have sexual intentions towards you, it's a very big problem. Forget about the friendship. That is not your issue. They are grown men, and however it turns out, that is, if you tell him, however it turns out, they will handle it. It is not your place. That friendship must have started even before you were born. I don't know how long they've been friends for, but it might have started a long time ago. Even if you were in Bonkra, maybe you were like a little kid. So tell your dad, and then let them handle it from there, because looking at his age and looking at your age, and then you are young enough to be his daughter. Would he be okay if a grown man like him approached his daughter in that manner? You'd be very protective.
Of course.
Okay, and the other thing too that I noticed or thought about was the fact that if she has written to the show, it's obvious that probably she doesn't have that kind of relationship with the dad to be able to open up about things like that. So it's like she's in a bit of a dilemma, okay? Because I think that if they were like really, really close, or she's daddy's girl, she would have been able to go straight to him. But it's like right now, it's like she doesn't want to tell him, because I think that there's more to it than this worry about their friendship. It's like she doesn't want to go there, because probably that is not the kind of relationship they have. If it will be a problem, she can talk to an auntie, maybe her mom's sister, or even her father's sister, someone that she trusts, and then maybe the person can relay that information. That is, if she's not so comfortable talking directly to her dad. But by all means, that this information has to get to her father, okay? Yeah. Because she needs to be protected. Because you see that if the parents do not know that something like this is happening, they might be very trusting of the man. He comes to the house freely, he can do whatever, and then before you realize, rape case, and then now we are at Dofsu. So by all means, by every means possible, her father has to hear about it. And I advise that she talks to her dad directly, because that will make its impact.
Right.
Okay, tell your dad. Tell your dad.
Debbie,
Yeah.
you agree?
Well, I completely agree. Very often than not, victims, and she's clearly the victim here, he's the predator, he's in a position of power, trust, he's the father's friend, so then he's trying to pursue, these thoughts with her, or whatever feelings he thinks he has. Victims often try to make room for the abuser's comfort. Oh, the relationship he's a close friend of my father's, this maybe might bring him disgrace, maybe he's well known in the community, all of those things. No, what he's doing is clearly wrong. You are 19, you're still a teen. You've reached age of majority, whatnot. You're no longer a minor as of 18. However, you're still a teen, and you're in school, and your focus should be on school. It sounds like you have a good father since your mother's passing. He has been the one, your sole caretaker and provider, which is what a father is. So please bank on the fact that your father loves you as his daughter more than he loves or cherishes his friendship with this gentleman.
Yes.
Okay. Now, sometimes culturally it's a bit tricky. You do the right thing as a victim by telling, and then you get shamed for it. You get, accused of being the one who really, enticed the person, or you're lying on them. They would never do such a thing.
True.
Okay. So, but in this instance, we're hoping beyond hope that indeed your father will trust what you're saying, take you seriously, and then take actions to, he may choose to continue his friendship. They are the adults here, but your father will then know how to handle that friendship away. So like Sesinam said, if you're uncomfortable, you could tell a trusted family member, and then they could, approach it to your father in one way or the other. But certainly, one, do not give in to whatever pressure, whatever he says. Be very, very careful. No visits alone, all of those things. Oh, my father is not in. Okay, no problem, I'll wait. No, we're not doing any of those things. Just stay away, focus on your schooling, be careful, but tell your father, and rest assured that he will know what to do. Even if he errs and does something else, just know that you have done the right thing.
Yeah. Careful. And I will just add one thing, if you weren't aware. A lot of the ladies who end up being raped are raped by people they know
And trust.
and trust. So careful. That's all we'll say, okay? Stay safe. We're almost out of time, but I really want to throw this in real quickly, so I'll give you guys like maybe a minute each to address it. Hi, Jess, hope you're well. My boyfriend broke up with me a year ago for no reason. Took me a month to get over it. I still love him, though. He called me last week to ask for forgiveness, and I want to pay him back. Should I accept him or forget about him? Easy answer. What do you think?
Forget about him.
Forget about him?
Yeah, because he broke up with you without a reason. Okay, but maybe you can just give him a time of day. Maybe listen to what happened in the first instance, and then maybe that would inform your decision. But I mean, instantly, I'll say no. Why did he leave in the first place?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Demi, what would you say?
Girl, exes get blocked and deleted. Goodbye. I don't know who you are. Why are you contacting me? Like, who is this again? No, no, no. That's it. It's done. Shoot it in the back of the head, put it in a coffin, throw it off a cliff. Done.
Love it. Claudia.
She's also making the wrong assumption. She's assuming that she can hurt him and assuming that the guy still likes her.
Yeah.
So that's the mistake she's making. She might end up hurting herself because the guy is probably back to take advantage of her again, and nothing you do would hurt him. So let him go. People do that. They keep, I'm going to do something to spite him. You end up hurting yourself. Put yourself first and forget about him.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't think you should go back, or give him a chance either. So we'll just end it there. Thank you so much, ladies, once again, for making time to be here. Claudia, lots of love coming to you all the way in Berlin. We'll be back same time next week. But of course, let me just say a big thank you to our sponsors for this particular show. I mean, without them, this would not be possible. So special thank you to Talia Rice, always coming home to love Vodafone. Together we can. Onga, Mama's Helping Hand. Kel White, Happy Smile. And Geisha, African Strength. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate your support. And to you, of course, for watching us every single week and listening to us on radio as well. The love is deep. My name is Jessica. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.